Well, President Trump says that he was briefed by U.S. intelligence, and he says that Iran is really trying hard to assassinate him. And he's all in on this one. And it's very confusing because when he was actually shot at in front of our eyes by a white American man, he definitely seemed demure about it, I guess. I hate to use that word because I'm not using it the way the kids are using it. He was shot at recently at his own golf course, and he played that down. But so why is he all in on Iran? That's weird, right? Also, why would Iran do that? Given 2 American men have already tried to actually assassinate him. Why are all eyes on Iran? Well, here is his confirmation about this on X. He also posted it on Truth Social. Big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I'm surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I ever have been before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker.
Almost everyone in the chat is saying Iran in quotation marks. Like
yes.
that the Don is falling for the deep state trick here. I mean, it's overwhelmingly, I think everyone in our chat believes that this is a false flag piece of garbage.
Well, so many weird things. First of all, he recently had said that he is refusing security briefings because when those briefings are leaked by somebody else, he gets blamed for it. So he took this briefing and he is parroting what they are saying to him. So that's strange. So does he actually believe this? And we don't know. We don't know what proof was given to him. The last time they arrested a man from Pakistan who said that he had been funded by Iran, who wanted to kill Trump. So why do they want it to be Iran so badly? It feels like that's their wish right now. Think about the piece we did yesterday about all the ways we are sold lies in order to go to war with a certain place, and then digest this information through that lens. Now, here's what NBC says about it. Here's what a spokesperson said. Why anybody would want to kill President Trump if they're from Iran. He says, President Trump, this is a spokesperson for the government, said, was briefed earlier today by the Office of National Director of Intelligence regarding real and specific threats from Iran. Real and specific, they said, to assassinate him in an effort to destabilize and sow chaos in the United States. Now, I feel like we're doing a pretty good job of that on our own.
Yeah, why shoot? Like, don't jump into the mess when we're already shooting ourselves in the foot and destabilizing ourselves. Have you looked at our southern border?
Right.
Like, we're doing a pretty damn good job of destabilizing our country. We don't need any more help from Iran,
now,
for crying out loud.
The source here... Sorry, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, what a way to get... So it's like if they know that Trump could potentially win... What a way to, propagandize him to get him on board to the war that they want. So they're like, okay, we've got to convince Trump that this is all true so that we get the war that we want.
Yeah, Luke Radosky said the same thing today on Twitter. He's like, man, whoever is in Trump's ear. And this was, again, Colonel McGregor's biggest complaint about it is that Trump tends to listen to the last person in the room. And, whatever Luke said, he's like, whoever got to Trump, whatever's putting this in his ear, like, this is deeply troubling. Someone's gotten to him.
Yeah. So, okay, this quote, is there anything else worth looking at in it? Intelligence officials have identified that these are continued and coordinated attacks. So that's so interesting, though, right? Because what our government is telling us is that Iran is super dangerous and it's their nation state, not just anyone with Iranian blood, but their nation state that wants this. Meanwhile, if you listen, which we try to do, Iran has been publicly saying over and over that it wants diplomatic talks with the United States. They say that. So you would think, oh, okay, we think there's a threat coming from inside this government. Maybe we should go talk to them and assess if it's real. Nope.
And by the way,
we don't
Russia
talk to them.
And Russia is a close ally with Iran, very close ally with Iran. And so we're going to talk with Russia and try to formalize a relationship, as Trump has said, with Russia. But then Iran, an ally of Russia, is going to openly try to assassinate a president of the United States. That makes zero sense if you think about it.
Right. And so think of the things we're constantly trying to blame on Iran as nuclear weapons, even though we launched a cyber weapon on their nuclear power plant.
Obama did.
Obama and Israel. And, well, Bush was involved in it too. Bush number 2. So nuclear power plants, and now this assassination attempt, and also being aligned with groups that we call terrorists. So this, though, was the headline from the last week of August. So this was about 3 weeks ago when their brand new president and their supreme leader said, we are open to talks with the U.S. Now, this was about nuclear program, but also about all diplomacy. They said, all we want from the U.S. is to lift sanctions, and we will go to talks. So they want to accuse Iran of having nuclear weapons, but not prove it. They want to basically talk some crap and not actually talk to them. When Iran made this offer about their nuclear programs, here's what the State Department said. Oh, no, we're not going to do it. Said the headline, Biden administration throws cold water, saying, we don't think they actually mean it. We are far away from returning to negotiations. Yeah, and in fact, the State Department later said if they really wanted to be serious, they would stop nuclear escalations, which we have no proof of, and start meaningfully cooperating with the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which they do. So we are lying here. So look at the lies about Iran. We tell them all the time. It's just, it comes out of our mouth like vomit.
Well, and we have, you should be suspect anytime suddenly the Biden administration is on the same page with the intelligence community, all of it. So Antony Blinken on an interview on the Today Show saying, oh, yeah, we take this threat very seriously against President Trump. You know, we're watching the Iranians. We're watching it closely. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh,
you
Antony
do?
Blinken?
Yeah.
Okay, I trust Antony Blinken. I trust all of these three-letter agencies.
We
You're
want
all
to
full
protect
of shit.
him against Iran, but not against domestic threats. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, and what's weird about this is Biden throwing cold water on it. Wasn't it Obama? It was like while he was vice president when the first nuclear deal was reached, right? When they signed the I'm trying to think of the right words, like the treaty,
The arms deal. The arms treaty, the nuclear treaty.
Yeah, where they basically, that's where the IAEA started coming in there. That was an Obama era deal, right? So how could they be so far away from it when he was part of the team that came up with the original deal? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, stop
using
trying
facts
to make it make sense.
Yeah, stop trying to use sense here, Philip.
Right. I was going to play you this video again where the IAEA says we actually are working satisfactorily with Iran. I feel like you don't need to see that again. You've seen it twice. So it's a lie. The United States makes up lies about Iran all the time. If you really want an inside scoop on how the United States just tortures Iran based on an alliance with Israel and for no other reason, read the book The Art of Sanctions, where this dickhead, sorry, I said I would stop swearing, but I'm not going to. The guy who wrote the book literally talks about how they had an idea that Iran had nukes, so they were going to sanction them into oblivion, and people die. Those are sanctions of mass destruction. So this guy can go out and get a Z-Pack if his daughter has an ear infection. But Iranian people, no, and that's their own fault. So I refer you to that. Where was I?
Let's put up a poll because some people in the chat, well, like most people understand what's going on here, but there are a few people that are like, Redacted's being naive right now. Iran really does want to kill Trump. Okay. And look, maybe they'll have you believe that, and they'll have an Iranian that the CIA will have worked with and contracted with to carry something out, and they'll arrest him, and they'll say, see, look, that's exactly what we talked about last week on the show. That's exactly what ex-CIA agent Michael Scheuer said. He said this is a tactic of the CIA. Find a dumb Muslim, find somebody that you can use to carry out an attack like this, and then you can paint them. Well, look, we swooped in and stopped them. They're trying to carry out an assassination attempt.
Okay.
Patsy.
And let's play this out. Okay, let's say, yes, Iran really wants to kill a presidential candidate in order to put us into chaos because we're supporting Israel. Why would there be no threats on Kamala Harris? Why would there be no threats on Joe Biden? Why would there be no threats on J.D. Vance? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bueller? They would equally want to attack all of those people. Right.
But we're naive. Okay, then I'll play it out. Maybe we're being totally naive. Maybe the CIA is right. Maybe these three-letter agencies are telling you the truth. Maybe the Biden administration is not lying to you. Maybe. I've been fooled way too many times by these people that I'm not going to buy the line in the crock of garbage. And when I see them going to the Washington Post and I see them showing up on all of the major broadcast television stations that they're in bed with, and they're all on the same page with this story, I don't believe it. But
like,
you do you. Maybe I'll be surprised.
I would say the CIA is just all of a sudden like, you know what? We've lied to so much. Like, let's just start being transparent and telling the truth, guys. Like, we're losing the faith of the American people. Yeah. Let's just start.
They started today.
Yeah.
They started today. So I'm going to give them,
great.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Mike Pompeo on camera says that they go through training classes on how to lie for a living and deceive the American people. That's their job. But they're telling the truth now.
Right. And you think of all the false flags that we've been given to buy into wars, the ones we talked about yesterday. Let's see, Noriega and Saddam Hussein and all of this. It's always they're attacking civilians. They're attacking peaceful protests. They're not allowing democratic elections. Well, I guess they think, well, the American people aren't buying that anymore. They're tired of that line. So now we have to think that one of their candidates is at risk. It seems like just a new spin on an old tale to sell you war. So buy it if you want to. I'm not gonna, but you can. No, in August, we were also told that the Trump campaign was hacked by Iran. We should just keep track of this as they keep coming across our screen, right? So not only was it a Pakistani man who was, believe me, that was Iran, right, who tried to kill Trump. Now, there's new, continued and ongoing and coordinated threats. And also we had the hack of their campaign, even though it was the Democrats who actually hacked the Trump campaign. But sure, Iran did that too. So that also came from the intelligence state, which, again, has used us a lot to get into war with false flags. When we got that news in August about the hack of the Trump campaign, here's what DC Drano said. He said, let's call it what it is. The CIA hacking Trump again, right? Because they did it in 2016 through the Clinton campaign, or at least CISA or the CIA allowing Iran to hack Trump. So it's a workaround. It's a reach around. Can I say that? I guess I've already said so many.
You're on
Okay. I'm on a roll today. I'm not having it, you guys. Okay. And since we know that the attacks on Trump persist, is this maybe a preemptive warning when another attack on Trump happens domestically? That's what Roger Stone predicted. Watch.
Suddenly, the FBI announces they've uncovered an Iranian plot to kill Trump. This to me smells like a setup. So that if there is another attack on Trump of any kind, a road bomb, a drone, or God forbid another bullet, well, then they can conveniently blame the Iranians.
Yeah, like John Lombardi in our chat says, a white Iranian. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, of course, that's what they're doing. Like that's what you do. Like you put the story out there, then you can do whatever you want. And when you finally succeed, then you've already got the blame placed. You don't even have to do the work afterwards because people will automatically be like, Iran succeeded.
Yeah. Although the word Iranian comes from Aryan because they did consider themselves the Aryan race of the Middle East. But okay, we won't get into that. So the question, why would Trump publicize this? Why? Did he see some solid evidence that we don't see? Let's leave some space for that. That could be the case. We don't know. Is he afraid because he's just getting weary of being shot out? Possibly. Or is he signaling that he is game for a war with Iran if and when he's elected? Israel wants us to go to war with Iran. That's pretty obvious. Trump has been very clear that he supports Israel. Is that where we're going? J.D. Vance, in one of his first interviews after getting the VP nomination, said that he's game for hitting Iran super hard. This was at the Republican convention. That's why the party music.
A lot of people recognize that we need to do something with Iran, but not these weak little bombing runs. If you're going to punch the Iranians, you punch them hard, and that's what he did when he took out Soleimani.
Okay, so does this mean that Trump will not deal diplomatically with Iran? He said he will do so with Russia, but Iran, no. Will he put more sanctions of mass destruction on them the same way that the Obama administration did? Will he do it then to go to war with Iran, as is Israel's desire? Well, here is my favorite take on this from Ron Paul. He says this is why we have such a bad reputation around the world, is this kind of rhetoric.
And the headline is Trump's VP pick, Vance, says Iran needs to be punched hard. Well, that's great diplomacy, I'll tell you. There's a lot of problems in the world, and if you're sincere in changing it, you stick to principle and you have an open door for at least a discussion. If people will not discuss and will not talk and aggravate, and some people interpret that's our foreign policy. You do it our way or not, or it won't do it. But acting like a bully does not work.
Yeah, I don't vote to be the bullies, but okay, I vote for diplomacy. Doesn't look like either the Harris-Biden administration or a possible Trump administration is heading towards diplomacy. I hope that I'm wrong.
You know, most guys think their testosterone is being drained by aging, bad genetics, or maybe even a lack of exercise. But what if I told you that's not the case at all? In fact, the real culprit is something you're likely eating every day. And here's the shocking part. It's something you've always been told is healthy. Yes, they are lying to you. This one food has been scientifically shown to devastate testosterone levels, and most men have no idea they're eating it. It's not junk food either. It's not sugar. It's something way more unexpected, and just eating it a few times a week is enough to wreck your testosterone, drain your energy, and crush your motivation. But here's the good news. Cutting this one thing out of your diet could completely transform the way you feel. And our friends at V-Shred have seen it firsthand with their clients. And guys who stopped eating it are building muscle, burning fat, feeling more energized than they have in years. It's truly incredible how quickly things can change once you know what to avoid. And V-Shred, the team behind the cutting-edge fitness and nutrition strategies, has created a video that reveals exactly what this testosterone-killing food is and why removing it from your diet could be the key to unlocking your body's true potential. So if you want to know what this food is, head over to sculptnation.com/redacted. It's right here on your screen. Sculptnation.com/redacted. Watch the video or just click the link below in the description box. V-Shred's experts break it all down, and this one simple change could make all the difference. Trust me, this is the one thing you don't want to miss.